about 30 years now on the raw vegan lifestyle, probably on the vegetarian lifestyle for 46 years now, 72, yeah. That was originally due to a mentor, a guy called Paul Bragg, who was a health educator in America, who'd come to Australia. I was in Australia at the time, living on the Gold Coast and in the surf lifesaving movement on the beach all the time and playing rugby, that sort of thing. But I was starting to get problems in my knees and I could not run anymore. And very painful to walk. I consulted an orthopedic surgeon and they said surgery was 50% chance of improving. But that wasn't really, so I looked at natural therapies. Most of the natural therapies involve taking some sort of supplement or whatever to think that your arthritis would be cured by utilizing the supplementation and the herbs. That didn't strike a chord with me, and I went to this lecture by Paul Bragg, who was attracting quite a lot of attention at the time. He was in his 70s at that stage. He had originally cured himself from TB back at one of Bircher Benner's European health resorts, and he was promoting the vegetarian type of lifestyle. It was a small amount of cooked food in that lifestyle, but no meat, no fish, no dairy products, okay? And so I thought, wow, if we are suited to be eating a diet which is primarily derived from plant sources, that has got to be a simpler way to go than all the cooking, all the cleanups and everything afterwards, you know. But I'm talking about my own personal belief. Within 3 months, I was thinking with my mental capacity changing, within 3 months my condition had improved to where I could run again, okay, with my knees. When I changed my diet originally, there was a big improvement, but to get 100% improvement, I think you have to take that final step till you're raw vegan. And primarily fruit, at least 80 to 90% of your diet, yes. Fresh raw fruit, especially organically grown if you can. The health benefits I've noticed is being able to meet beautiful people like yourself and a far wider community of people that are like-minded nowadays than when it was when we were originally doing it. As far as health benefits go, I found that I had started to get better range of motion in my joints. You see, the body in its wisdom tends to try and be a self-preservation unit, okay? It wants to survive. Each cell in your body is saying, I want to survive no matter what. And if the cells are being continually bombarded by toxins coming in from the external environment, such as through your air or through your food or through your water, the body will try and adapt and survive, and it'll not want to harm the more vital organs, the brain, the heart, the lungs. So what happens is those toxins will be deposited in the joints, because the joints are non-essential to life. You can still survive even though your joints are starting to stiffen up and your muscles are starting to stiffen up with toxins. So when you're not introducing all those toxins in the body, the joints will start to clear, and you will get far more range of motion, and you can become a dancer like Toomey or whatever, even in your 50s or 60s. Yeah. No, there's no real... I fell out of a tree about 4 months ago and broke a bone in my hand, and that's the only kind of a bit of a challenge walking on my hands at the moment. But it's gradually coming good, and I'm getting the flexibility back. So no other really... I still can read without glasses in good light, but if the light is not quite so good, it's not quite so easy to read, but still okay as far as my sight and my hearing most people that I meet in their 70s nowadays seem to have trouble with hearing, because especially men more than women, it's just due to the hardening and the calcification of tissues, and I think that's very important, is to have that proper calcium magnesium balance in your body. Most of our soils, especially in Australia, are very magnesium deficient, and the calcium level is quite high in most of the soils, so you're eating a diet which is generally too high in calcium, and it's going to cause that calcification as you get a bit older. So you've got to think consciously about trying to get more magnesium. And the highest food that contains magnesium is sunflower greens, the little sunflower greens that you sprout. And so I recommend people, as they're getting older, if they don't have living foods right in their own apartments or wherever, grow the sunflower greens. And you can buy the seeds at any pet store or wherever. No, not at the moment, I don't, no. In the morning I had tuba. Now I'll tell you about tuba. It's a coconut nectar derived from the flower of the coconut. Could you show me, Rihanna, where we have some actually here. This is tuba. This is boy, you can hear it a bit fizzy. It is full of enzymes, and it is derived directly from the coconut flower. You bend this flowering spathe and you cut the end of the flower and you drain it out into the container, and it tastes like champagne. So I had a drink of tuba, a glass of this, and I share it with people. I'll have a little sip now, okay? Yeah, beautiful. Tuba is probably, being a vital food, it will quickly ferment and quickly deteriorate into alcohol, and then finally into vinegar if you leave it for a few days. So anyway, you have to drink it fresh, and this is the primary thing with foods: get them fresh and living, okay? Yeah, after tuba, maybe I had some papaya. Generally I eat twice a day, so papaya and passion fruit, trying to get everything we grew on our own land. We've only been on our land now for 14 months. The trees have been growing, and we've got already fruiting papaya, fruiting passion fruit, bananas, and try and eat what we grow. So we had papaya and we had passion fruit and some banana. And then second meal was durian, because the durian season here in Davao in the Philippines, it's actually primarily twice a year we have a lot of durian, where it's very cheap. Now it is tapering off to where it's a little bit more expensive. It's about $1 a kilo for durian. That's US dollars. So it's still pretty cheap compared with even in Australia, where it's $16 a kilo. So durian was my second meal, and there's a lot of varieties of different durian. But I don't really count calories as such. Sometimes I'll go without fat for many days. Other times I'll have fatty type food like avocado, maybe 2 or 3 times a week, and some coconut. Yesterday didn't eat any coconut, but the only other liquid I drink apart from tuba is coconut juice, the coconut juice out of the coconut. When I walk around a supermarket or a department store or a mall, and I look around and see the deformed bodies that are hobbling around and overweight, and I think, wow, there but for the grace of God, there but for raw go I, because you see all those people and they're cripples. The human race is getting worse. We're degenerating, actually. How much health care is required? How much money is required in order to keep all those people functioning and just getting around? You owe it to yourself not to end up like that. And you will end up like that unless you alter your lifestyle and start to take self-responsibility, and that's what you have to do, and do it intelligently. Yeah, I generally try and realize that gravity is the main force that we're subjected to in our existence here on Earth. Gravity and vitality are two opposing forces. Gravity is pulling us back towards the center of the Earth. Vitality is opposing gravity and pushing away. You look at a plant. The plants exhibit vitality, even a sprouting seed, pushing away, growing, responding, reaching towards the sky. Gravity is continually pulling us back towards the center of the Earth. The human form is affected by gravity. Gravity is going to win in the end. We're going to end up as dust. But while we've got vitality opposing gravity, we will have superiority and we will triumph over gravity. And if you're doing a few minutes a day, corrective type of exercise, utilizing the force of gravity to your advantage, that is the answer. Don't let gravity rule you. We do let gravity rule us when we sit for many hours a day in front of a computer screen, in front of a TV, lounging in an office chair or whatever. It's still, gravity is compressing our internal organs. So what you have to do is a few minutes a day, guiding gravity to your advantage by getting upside down, by uplifting the internal organs, by a series of exercises that I teach. And if you need to learn about those, I do a separate video on those. Just gazing into my wife's eyes every morning for a moment, that is a good meditative practice. And looking at the, shall we say, the uncharted soul of the human, you know, and it's only found if you're looking into another person's eyes. I'm not, I do believe that we can be definitely helped by doing a practice of mindfulness meditation where you're bringing your mind, just trying to prevent so many thoughts bombarding your mind, trying to calm it. And you can do that a few minutes a day with your partner if you like, you know, just looking into the eyes. I feel that when I was talking before about gravity and vitality, the highest form of our triumph over gravity is our thoughts. And transforming those thoughts, that is triumphing over gravity, because the thoughts are billions of miles into the cosmos, into the universe. And if you can raise your thoughts by a few minutes a day, just by thinking the health tip and by thinking positive and visualizing and thanking this greater divinity, this greater creativity every day, just thanking consciously. Don't say prayers, don't say, I wish that I could get such and such, I wish I could get some land, or I wish I could get a bigger car, or whatever. Just thank for what you have, and you will find that that will be transformative and the best health tip that you can have. Just give thanks.
Doesn't look like even human. Yeah, look like